If your team got guaranteed money, tell them call me.
Whoop. Make me say, my. I done been around the world.
Yeah, I was made for this.
Player Performance with J.A. Cavalier.
What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Player Performance, NBA second season. So for those of you who don't really follow the NBA, the way it works is it actually works in like 3 different seasons, right? You have the preseason and then the first half of the season, which is one season. And then you have that runs up to about the trade deadline, right? And then there's the preseason for the second season actually starts at the trade deadline, where all these 2 teams are getting adjusted with their new pieces, and the teams that, you know, are finally realizing they actually suck are starting to sell, and the teams who realize they need a piece are starting to buy and find out what's available. So then the preseason comes back in, and now that's the preseason for the second season, which is what we're starting now, because now these teams need time to adjust with their new pieces. So now we're in the second season. And if you talk to any true real NBA handicapper, any NBA bettor, this is the absolute best time of the year when it comes to the NBA. This is the time we absolute smash, because teams start to play truer to form. Your handicap actually becomes truer, and teams start to play more defense, which obviously leads to a more truer handicap. And this is that time. This is that ATM time. This is where we put ourselves in a position to make money. A little bit of technical difficulties here as we're getting adjusted to the new frames.
The frames are sick, though.
That's right. The frames are sick. There we go. Look at that. Burnsy on top of it. Fix that shit quick. All right, guys. This is NBA Player Performance, joined as always by the Shark and Luke Shuey. I, of course, am J.A. Cavalier. Free picks every day. A little bit of fluff. Guys, go ahead, smash the like button. You should be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. We're going to be doing this every single day, an opportunity to dominate, as Shark always says. And we're going to roll right into the first game. Shark, you're going to lead the way here. Go through each game. We'll give our takes. We'll get you guys in a position to make some money. All the information you need to beat the books. Let's go.
Yeah, you said it. This is an opportunity to dominate. We didn't dominate yesterday. We're going to talk some Laker ball later, but we're going to run through this in a fast half hour for you guys. We want to give you all the detailed information here on NBA Player Performance. And we're starting this Thursday to open the second half, Memphis at Indiana. Great stuff here, and I think a lot of alignment in this game. My official play, my free play on this card for you guys, Indiana plus 2.5. And, one thing that I was thinking about when I started handicapping these games, how are teams going to react coming out of the All-Star break? Because going into the break, there's the look-ahead element to a vacation. Now you ask yourself, how are teams going to come off this break and start playing ball again? So I went back to last year. Indiana went into the break terribly and then came out scorching hot in the second half, precisely where you find them this year. 1-6 ATS last 7, barely beat Washington in overtime to close the first half, and now they catch Memphis in a spot you want to sell Memphis. Memphis is too hot at the East, 7-2 ATS, cratering recently, and this is a revenge game from a game played in Memphis on December 1st, a blowout for the Grizzlies. You want to buy the Pacers tonight? My top play in this game, plus 2.5. Luke, welcome back. Welcome to the second half. We're about to go on a huge upward movement point. Any thoughts on this game?
I am so excited for second half of the NBA. We have had a solid first half, but man, the second half with all the data analytics, it just becomes so much more consistent. At least that's what we're looking for again this season. I'm hyped up. We just got on a roll in college hoops, but back to the NBA. Full card. My lean in this game, it's not an official play, but I actually like more of a role player, TJ McConnell, and his assist line sitting at 4.5. McConnell's minutes this year have kind of gone down. He's only playing like 16 minutes a game. Truthfully, I think he's a phenomenal role player that moves the ball across the court. I think he should be 20 minutes plus in general, and he actually suits the pace of the game expected in this one. which should be a fast-paced, high-scoring affair. And he has not been looking to score lately, but he's been dishing it effectively. He's been averaging almost 6 assists per game through the month of February, and he was at 9 and 6 his last 2 times out. I love him to spread the ball, and they'll get tons of shots up with him in the game. So give me over 4.5 assists for a lean on TJ McConnell.
Yeah, and you said it. Points. The total in this game is 251. Is this 1970s Phoenix Suns or is this current Indiana Pacers? Jay, welcome back. We've missed you. It's about time we turn the hell up. What do you think about this game?
Much like you and I are aligned today, which is kind of fucking scary. It's gonna be a bad day for the Bucks. I'm also on the Pacers here. I actually caught this last night at +3. I did do a little alt line. I took the 2.5 up to 3. Look, it's simple. We don't lay points on the road with Memphis, right? You just don't do it. It's the perfect spot for Indy. Catch the Grizzlies after an extended break. Listen, when you're hot, the last thing you want to see is a break. That break sometimes works against you, and the Grizzlies were one of the hotter teams in the NBA going into the break. Now you've had that long break, and the Pacers are still one of the best home teams in the association. 14-9 straight up, 3-1 in their last 4, and they do get Miles Turner back for this game, which is going to make a huge difference for the Pacers. I like the Pacers in this spot. I think they win this game by margin. And I actually would play and so truth be told, I would play this game on the alt line because the wrong team is absolutely favored in this spot. Pacers laying 2.5, Pacers laying 3 at some plus money. Not a bad look. Also, you could look to a Pacers team total because this game, has overwritten all over it as well, right? But if you're leaning towards the Pacers, then obviously you're going to want to see the Pacers with a faster output more so than you're going to want to see Memphis. And I think Memphis is going to come out sluggish. First game after the All-Star break, on the road in Indiana. Not much to do in Indiana. Give me the Pacers and the Pacers team total over. I would actually look to under in this game for the full game, but I do like the Pacers team total over.
Yeah, no, I do think that the market may have gotten steamed out of the gym here a little bit at 251.5. But just finalizing that point, this is where Indiana has improved immensely against the Western Conference in recent history at home. 3-1 ATS last 4. Very impressive stuff against Phoenix, Golden State, and others. And for those of you guys who know Indiana, they do pretty much one thing. They turn up to the moment more than other teams. Revenge. We're moving it around here. This is like a nice little peripheral passing game from Tyrese Halliburton tonight at Gamebridge on this show right now. But we love Indiana tonight. Let's dominate. Keeping it moving. Big time ball here. National game. Boston at Philadelphia. I used to live in the Philly area. Philly's coming off a Super Bowl run, and the Sixers have been an absolute disaster in the last couple months, accentuated by the end of the All-Star or the end of the first half of the season, 1-6 ATS going into the break, including a game we had on here where I love the Sixers. I like the Nets.
I'm throwing the challenge flag on that one. First off, an hour prior to game, Maxey fucking ruled out. You know what? So I take a mulligan on that. You want to hold the belt, you can hold the belt. But bottom line here, Maxey ruled out an hour prior to game. I'm not giving you that one. I'm not going to give you that one. And it was still only a 4-point game. Maxey plays in that game. You know what? I'm just saying. Now continue.
Oh, I agree. This is the constant changing of the rosters in contemporary basketball. But staying here tonight in Philadelphia, I think we're going to get full rosters. I was looking at the report. Boston seems to want to turn up. Philly needs a game, but you like Boston tonight against the spread here.
I absolutely fucking love Boston tonight. Listen, fuck the Sixers. Give me the Celtics, lay the 7. And I tried to tell all of you, right? And I was actually alone on that hill shouting while everybody was on the Boston fade. They were in that Boston fade mode prior to All-Star break, right? Not me. Not your favorite capper's favorite capper. I was alone. I was yelling. I was yelling at all of you fuckers. Buy, buy, buy. Buy on the Celtics. Celtics are about to reestablish domination. 3 straight before the break, 7 of their last 8. Oddly, it all actually started against these Sixers. The Celtics came back down 20 and just went fucking nuke in the fourth. This is not a get-right spot for Philly. Not against the best road team in the NBA. Celtics, of course, 22-6 on the road. Also a team that has absolutely owned Philly. Who are the fucking Sixers? No, I mean, seriously, if anybody can answer that, does this team even have a fucking identity other than maybe disappointments? No Eric Gordon, no Justin Edwards, no Kyle Lowry, Paul George, absolute broken. And what the fuck is wrong with Embiid? Is it physical? Is it mental? His plus minus when he's on the court is fucking putrid. Market is not adjusted enough, still trading on their name. Give me the Celtics. Give me the Celtics big. They get there by margin. They win this game by double digits. I'll even comfortably say they win this game by 20 plus tonight.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't disagree with you there. And I was looking at it from the same standpoint that I talked about with the Indiana game. How do these teams react coming out of the All-Star break? And as I mentioned, this is where Boston has one of two options, basically. They either catch Cleveland and get the 1 seed, or they don't. But I think this is highly important for this group. They don't want to have to play a Game 7 in Cleveland in May. That's going to be a brutal spot. And Boston is only 5.5 back of the Cavs. The Cavs have cooled off considerably off a scorching hot start. And another thing tonight in terms of coming off the break, which I think is very important, what coach is going to have his team more prepared off a break? Joe Mazzulla is a low-key dog head coach. And I can't say the same thing about Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse, for me, is uninspiring, kind of a rambling idiot to a certain degree. I've listened to a lot of their press conferences. I'm not with the guy at all. Luke, any thoughts on this one?
Oh, I don't think I can top the fact that Jay was yelling at all our fuckers. But, he's right. I won't get off the Celtics here. I'm Boston tonight with you guys. If I had to go with something, I think the Stars play out tonight. I think that Maxey and Embiid take a shit ton of shots. So I'd fade Paul George. He's not taking shots. He's getting 9 shots up per game. Embiid and Maxey will dominate. So if anything, fade Paul George. And the only way that Philly has any standing chance is if the refs let Embiid shoot 30 free throws. So I'm with you guys, Boston, and fade Paul George here.
Yeah, I think Luke was echoing because people in Philly are feeling the vibe tonight of Boston about to lay down the hammer. And keeping it moving here, Magic Hawks, 7:30 State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Southeast Division basketball, a rivalry game, a rematch of a game played in Orlando going back to February 10th. Atlanta 112, Orlando 106. Revenge game is very real in this environment. Orlando's going to want to come out and get Atlanta back for really a game that was kind of an outlier box score. It could have gone either way. That all being said, Luke is sitting in the prop market tonight, probably agreeing with my little intro there, fading Trae Young under PRA 40.5.
Yeah, hopefully you guys, my echo is fixed there. If you didn't hear, I was saying I'm backing Boston as well, and if anything, fading Paul George here. But this game, I have an official free play here. I'm going Trae Young under 40.5 PRA. That's points, rebounds, assists, combo stat line. He averages right at this line on the season. So his line, they think the line is sharp here. Am I echoing again? I just hear a lot of background noise. I don't know if you guys do. Okay, there
Professionals
we go.
don't get distracted.
Yeah, you're right. Let's lock in. All right, so under 40.5 PRA. I think that the Hawks might struggle on offense. We've talked about this on the show before. Magic is this team is going to step it up. Their defense is going to play well. They're going to play well down the stretch to show why they were a playoff team last year. I think they come out hot here after the break. And look at their last matchup. Young only put up 33 PRA in this matchup against Orlando prior this season. Last year, his last matchup, he was at 33 as well. Of course, sometimes Trae Young can be a little selfish and shoot, 30 shots in a game. I don't see that tonight because he is proving that he is a heck of a point guard, leads the NBA in assists with over 11 per game. I just see that the Magic force anyone on the Hawks to beat them but Trae Young. He may have 15 assists. That's fine. But I think he's under the 40.5 PRA line for an official play.
Yeah, Jay and I have been talking about Orlando now for a month and a half. This team is 3-12 ATS last 15. This is really the tale of two teams gone in different directions, where I expect this is going to flip the other way going into the second half of the season. Atlanta is 9-1 ATS last 10. So Atlanta's way too hot. Orlando's way too cold. You get a revenge game here. Jay, you're a Miami fan. You are a fan of the Southeast. This particular division has been mediocre all year. We've been talking about Orlando. Does Orlando get there tonight?
First off, I hate to say this one thing. I don't bet on either of these fucking teams until they show me who they really are. The Hawks are one of those teams. They can come out and beat you by 20 or lose by 20. And the Orlando Magic don't have a fucking offense. I don't know how you could back a team with absolute no offense. And, I understand it, but it can't be this much on fucking Suggs. Like, Suggs doesn't make that much difference to a fucking box score, in the offense. I mean, are they about to start scoring? I don't fucking know. I know one thing, though, is I backed them in the same situation in that fucking game, and I expected the Orlando Magic to roll the Hawks. And what ends up happening? They get to 96 and then literally just stop fucking scoring the rest of the game. They did absolutely nothing offensively. So I can't back either of these teams. And if anybody watches this show or watches me at all, knows, I'm on the fucking everyone hates Trae Young fucking bandwagon. So I just don't bet Hawks games. I'm just done betting Hawks games. You know what? In the game you bet against them, they'll come out and he'll come out scorching and they'll win by 20. The game you roll with them and you expect them to win, and you put them against a team like fucking Charlotte and they come out and they lose by double digits. So I can't make heads or tails of either of these teams, but I can tell you I'm certainly not backing an Orlando Magic team until they start putting the ball in the little round fucking hole.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, you talk about fishy lines here. I see a couple guys talking about the under in this game. We're not on this officially, but just a general comment. When Orlando can't score the ball, and the previous game finished at 218, and this is 223, books think some regression northward is coming here. And one final point on the game. This is actually a low-key huge game for the playoff race. Orlando is actually sitting in the 7 seed right now, which is kind of hard to believe given how terrible they've been. This is the story of the Eastern Conference. Incredibly top-heavy and then massive parity through the middle. Orlando's 7, Atlanta's 8, and Atlanta's only a half game back. This is going to be a playoff-style game tonight. In the division, right there. That's why the line is -1. I would lean towards Orlando to get them. I think Orlando's going to commence upward movement. Nothing super big time on this game, but great conversation on NBA player performance. Keeping it moving here. Not exactly the biggest game of the night, but certainly an interesting conversation. Cleveland at Brooklyn. This is one side of a massive look-ahead element tonight. Cleveland plays New York tomorrow night, Friday, in Cleveland. So the Knicks have to play the Bulls tonight, and Cleveland have to play the Nets. And we've seen a lot of steam throughout the week on the underdogs in this spot for those reasons. Throwing it to Luke, can you get there in this game?
It's a weird game. So when I capped free plays and my VIP card, I have 0 leans in this game. I have nothing in the Cavs or Nets on my card at all. I think it's going to be an interesting game. This could be really low scoring if both teams play defense. But, of course, Cleveland can have some real massive offensive output. So I have no leans in the prop market. You got to know when to pass, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, baby. I'm folding them here.
Little poker term here on a suddenly not so casual Thursday. Jay, any thoughts on this one?
No, I thought I was going to start singing Kenny Rogers again. I mean, I would lay it with the Cavaliers. I don't mind laying the big number. I don't think the Cavaliers are one of those teams that are really looking ahead to anybody right now. Actually, if anything, they're probably the team being looked ahead to. They established first half dominance and put up a fucking crooked number early in the season and basically outperformed. And they only got better, adding Hunter, Okoro maybe back for this game tonight. So, I mean, if they get all their bodies in, they should run up an ugly number on the Nets. So, I mean, I would look to Cavaliers, maybe Cavaliers in the first half, maybe a Cavaliers team total. I know Brooklyn's defense has been fucking phenomenal, over the last month or so. But the truth of the matter is again, basketball is still an offensive game where you still have to score points to get there. And, against a team like Cleveland, you're not getting to the rim, right? Like, that's the one thing we know about Cleveland. They're not going to give up much at the rim. And then you're going to have to be able to keep pace. I don't see Brooklyn having the horses to keep pace with the Cavaliers. So for me, I would either lay the big number with the Cavaliers, though I'm not in the habit of laying double digits in the NBA, or I would look for a team total, but I certainly would not back the Nets in this spot.
Yeah, I think it's a tough game. As I said, this is a huge look ahead for Cleveland. They've been great on front end back-to-back, something we've detailed on this show for weeks. They're actually 9-2 ATS front end back-to-back, one of the best records in the league. It's just not a great spot. Brooklyn's actually really hot here, 6-1 ATS last 7, well coached with Jordy Fernandez, Canadian national team coach. They play defense, bunch of grinders. Tough game, but we give you guys angles on every game, keeping it moving. Next angle of this environment, as I just suggested, Knicks hosting the Bulls across town, 34th and 8th Avenue, Madison Square Garden. Old school rivalry. This is not John Starks dunking over Michael Jordan. This is Kobe White and a bunch of young players shooting 53-pointers, making every player from yesteryear puke a little bit every time they watch. Interesting game here. J.A., you got anything on this big dog matchup here at the Garden?
Yeah, just to clarify, Jordan gave Starks a facial, wasn't it? Balls on chin. Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're accurate with this shit. The two words that no Bulls fan ever wants to hear, Michael Jordan. I mean, two words, I'm sorry, that no Knicks fans want to hear are Michael Jordan, ever. You know what I mean? Listen, I actually was looking at this game and I was leaning towards Chicago in this spot, especially since, defense is going to be lacking for New York. I mean, Anunoby's going to be out, and now Josh Hart is out. So basically, you have your two dogs at the rim, and your basically your rebounds are going to be shit in this game. I don't know who's going to get boards for this team. But the Bulls are again one of those teams that are streaky for shooting. They get out with such pace, they play with such pace. So it's all going to be about whether or not shots are falling down. But the Knicks should also be able to put up a big number because Chicago's not standing in front of fucking anybody, right, defensively. So, I mean, again, I hate to be repetitive, but it would be like a Knicks team total. But I'm not laying double digits in this spot, although the Knicks are playing with not single, double in-season revenge here. So that is an angle to look at, and those are spots we typically lean on. However, the fact that I have both Anunoby and Hart out is difficult, and I can't get there because of that.
Yeah, I mean, this game is projected to be yet another Knicks over. We saw them close the break with the highest game in the regular season this year against Atlanta, almost 300 total points. We were on here that day, and we told you guys, best look in the game, Jalen Brunson over points, it cashed. And basically every single over metric in that game cashed. Luke, I know you've been scouring the props. Are the props telling us overs in this one?
They are. And I'm going to dial up. I just did this live because it's just a lean. So do this for fun. But same game parlay here. It trends with exactly what you guys are saying, and the numbers show this. I like Karl-Anthony Towns to go over his 13.5 rebound line. He averages that on the year, but Josh Hart is a rebound machine. Anunoby is decent on the boards when he gets after it. Towns is going to have to be the guy. I think he could easily put up 20-plus rebounds tonight. I mean, he's 13.4 on the year. That's second in the NBA. So start with Karl-Anthony Towns over rebounds, and then give me Brunson over his points and assists. I think it's up to like 36 right now. It's going up because of these guys being out, and he could put up 37 points alone, and he dishes the ball really solidly. So that's Karl-Anthony Towns over rebounds, Jalen Brunson over points and assists. He dishes the ball really solidly. Same game parlay right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just another track meet waiting to happen. And I mean, Jay mentioned it. When I was looking at this earlier, I was actually surprised. I think I knew it, but I was quickly reminded. The Knicks are 0-2 straight up against Chicago this year. This is not any game they're going to overlook in any capacity. And I was talking about this with Cleveland being great on front-end back-to-backs. The Knicks are actually 7-0 ATS on the front end of back-to-backs. The Knicks might not play great tomorrow. I think they're going to turn up here tonight. I got to be honest with you guys. Free play here, lean in this game. I do like the Knicks. at minus 11.5. And, just final point on this. When you guys look at Chicago, I think somebody said it in the chat before, this is just a Chicago team that has absolutely no soul or identity here. Jay, talking about the Sixers not having an identity. I mean, you take Zach LaVine off this team and, of course, DeRozan in the offseason. This really is a bunch of young players chucking threes. In their last 4 games, they were up almost 20 points on the Warriors and ended up losing by 21 outright. Like, this team can give away a lead like a freaking AAU team. It's that bad of a Bulls.
But I beg to differ, Shark. I mean, at least that is an identity. You know what I mean? That might not be the identity you actually want, but it's actually a fucking identity, right? We know what the Bulls are, and it's going to be all about whether or not they go in or not, but at least they have a fucking identity. The Sixers don't know what they want to be. The best brand of the Sixers is when they were running up and down the court with Maxey and Gordon and Lowry, and then Lowry got hurt and they still look good. But the problem that I have with the Sixers with their lack of identity is when Embiid's on the court. I mean, I've said this in a show previously or in conversation with you, definitely. I can't remember, but, it seems that Maxey, actually plays to Embiid like it's that big brother thing, where he doesn't want to overpass. He doesn't want to take the team over. Embiid is still the face of hashtag trust the process. That then fucking all of a sudden he disappeared. And Maxey actually submits to Embiid when on the court. And we've seen that every time Embiid's been on the court. And his fucking negative, it's just his plus minus is just fucking disgusting. I can't get over that. It really is just ugly. If you look at Embiid when he's on the court, it's just ugly basketball. And I'm an Embiid fan, which is what makes this even more difficult. I actually like Joel Embiid. But at least with the Chicago Bulls, we know what's going to happen. They're either going to hit their threes and they're going to stay within this game and keep this close, or they're not, right? So, I mean, for your sake tonight with you on the Knicks, obviously, I'm always going to back my guys. I'm always going to back my squad, especially when I have no skin in the game. And I did say this, if I was going to have any play at all in this particular game, it would definitely be a Knicks team total over. Maybe early in the first half team total over. I like those first half team totals over because you're going to get 24 minutes of basketball. And what happens in the second half is when it comes to blowout potential, you'll see the scoring really start to slow down because they start to clear the benches. But remember this. Knicks are playing with no defense tonight. Their best 2 defensive pieces are both going to be out. Their rebounding pieces are both going to be out. So it's going to probably be a track meet. And if the Knicks are hitting their shots and they can limit Chicago, then obviously they run away with this one. But I think the best look in this game would be the first half team total over.
Yeah, and just final point on this game. You go back pre-All-Star break with Chicago. I think this really gives you a nice snapshot to how bad Chicago is. Chicago got blown out by Detroit, 132-92. That's what Jay was saying in terms of it might go under because Chicago just can't score the ball. 29 points in the first half. One of the biggest deficits of the whole season in the first half. But I think even more importantly, the next night, they came back in the revenge game in the division in their home gym and got blown out again, 128-110. So if Detroit can hammer this team 2 times in a row on a back-to-back in Chicago, you're telling me that the Knicks can't cover 11.5? It's a Knicks spot. If you guys want to play this game, free play on this show, Knicks minus 11.5. Staying with the conversation of the Central Division, this time out of conference, Bucks hosting the Clippers. This game frustrated me when I saw the injury report. You're looking at Giannis, Lillard, Andre Jackson Jr., who's now a starter for the Bucks, and of course, Kawhi Leonard. We don't know who's going to play, but Luke is embracing a new project, the Ladder Project. And Luke, it's the second half of the season. Are you going to turn $20 into $10,000? Talk to me.
We're trying something new. You guys have probably heard of the viral ladder challenges. I'm trying one with props, and today is day 1. I'm going Brook Lopez under 12.5 points. You might say, Luke, prop master, Bobby Portis suspension. I know, I heard of it right away, but the line still moved now to 11.5. So the under is still a sharp play despite Portis being out. I just love this. So our goal for the ladder challenge, for those of you that don't know, is I'm putting $20 on this play tonight. You know, it's minimal change, but it's something. So anyone can do this with any amount of money. Putting $20 on the prop Lopez under 12.5 points. It hits. We roll that over. Tomorrow we bet $40. And we do that for 10 days. The goal is to end with 10 grand. You just need a little bit of luck and a lot of research, and hopefully we can go 10-0, make you guys 10K in 10 days. That's the goal. That's what we're doing. And the last piece here is Lopez. You know, I don't love him here tonight in a matchup against Zubats down low. I don't think he gets any points in the paint. So for him to score 13 or more, he's probably going to have to make like 4 threes. I just don't see it happening. If Giannis is in the game, he's going to be attacking and taking up most of the shots. Give me Lopez under day 1 of ladder challenge. Let's lock in.
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking at this game, I originally wanted to take Milwaukee. Milwaukee did lose by 10 points recently out west. But without Giannis and Lillard in the lineup, we're still waiting here. It's hard to bet against the Clippers in this spot. Jay, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Lillard is still a game-time decision. Jackson also a game-time decision. Giannis also a game-time decision. And they're true gray, which means that there's really no true indication that's actually a game-time decision. So Norman Powell is actually a game-time decision. So I will say this. Coffee, game-time decision. Eubanks and Powell, game-time decisions on the other side. Is anybody going to be able to fucking score in this game? I mean, this just has underwritten all over it, right? You're talking about the Sixers. I mean, the Clippers. I keep going back to the Sixers. Clippers leading scorer is going to be out Norman Powell, or at least game-time decision. Giannis and Lillard, both game-time decisions. So if you have all of them out, I would just fucking pound the under, especially with Portis, who is the guy that they seem to lean on. I mean, I don't think Kuzma is really going to give you that much to push this up and over the total. So I would look to the under in this because I don't think anybody gets there. But if I get Giannis and I get Lillard, I want the Bucks. And if I'm going to get the Bucks, even with a bucket, even let's just say in the perfect world, everybody plays, right? Give me the Bucks, and I'll probably be large on the Bucks in this spot. This is a spot that I back the Bucks. The Bucks at full squad, full strength, and I get it. Portis, a little performance enhancing, right? But what performance did he really enhance? No, it was like painkillers for his back, and I know that they're going to challenge that. So he may be in for the very next game until the investigation goes on, because you can't suspend a player, especially if they're gonna battle with the league's ruling on that. And supposedly it wasn't really that big of a fucking deal, whatever he was taking. It was just some painkillers for his back. But leave it to an NBA player to not go to a doctor and not get the script for it. You're a fucking moron.
No, I mean, it's crazy. We're sitting here talking about Portis, getting this suspension the same day Wemby is out for the year. But we'll talk about Wemby in a little bit. Let's keep it moving here. Next game on the card, interesting game here in Denver tonight. Hornets at Nuggets. And I don't say interesting because this is any sort of rivalry game. I say this because we're finding a unique calendar spot. Charlotte tonight and the Lakers tonight are on back-to-backs, the only teams that played yesterday. Usually, that would be a disadvantage. But I was thinking about this before. These teams had a ton of time off before yesterday, so they're not going to be fatigued. And second, they're the only teams now that actually have played in the second half to get into their flow, where we suspect some of these teams night one will not play great. I think LaMelo Ball might be on the injury report right now. The line just
no, he's out. Up. He's out. Ball is out.
He's out. And
so
again,
is Mark Williams.
He's a fantastic young athlete. There's absolutely no reason he should be out tonight. He was balling the hell out last night, basically won the game in the fourth quarter. Like, we'll say this every single day until it stops. Load management is absolutely out of line in this sport. LaMelo Ball sitting out tonight is egregious. The game itself is just kind of a wild card game. I really don't have much of a take. You guys got anything?
Well, you'll see. Listen, you're going to see that more with the teams in the mid-pack or teams toward the bottom, where you'll see those basically scheduled rest spots, because they want to see what else they have on their bench. I mean, it's not like the fucking Hornets are truly playing for anything, right? Like, so what are you going to do? You're going to put LaMelo Ball out there just to get numbers? Because that's really all this spot would be for him. And Mark Williams couldn't even pass a fucking physical during a trade. You know what I mean? So obviously you're not going to play him on back-to-backs. I don't mind the sitting out, but you know what? I don't think it's going to come from the teams that are really fighting or chasing something. It's going to come from these bottom-tier teams that who really gives a fuck anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just frustrating from the standpoint of just competitive nature. You know, you're young, you're making money, you love to play ball. Just like go out and freaking play. But this game itself, I mean, you got the Nuggets laying a huge figure. The Nuggets have actually cleaned up bad teams from the Eastern Conference at home. They're running a very clean sheet in this spot. It's hard to lay 18 points. It's also hard to take 17.5 points with an absolutely terrible team coming off of a high last night, winning at crypto.com in Los Angeles. Luke, you got anything, or are we keeping it moving here?
I don't love this spot, so no, I'm actually going to probably pretty much pass. If you had to take anything in this game and you're a junkie, with LaMelo being out and Mark Williams out, I would lean with Nick Smith Jr. over 12.5 points. If you don't know him, he's a youngster that's been playing a lot of ball, and he hasn't been afraid to shoot. He's completely volatile on his three-point line, on his three-point shooting, but he shot 11 threes last night against the Lakers. So he's going to get a ton of shots without LaMelo and Williams in. So if he hits a few, I take over 12.5 with Smith. But other than that, this is an ugly game for props.
Sure, I'm seeing this line at 15.5.
It just jumped.
Is that accurate right now?
Wait, did it? Hold on.
I'm seeing this line at 15.5.
For Charlotte for the game.
I see 17.5. I don't know.
I saw 17 too, and that's the reason I didn't love it for props. It's like there's so much blow potential here. I couldn't get a minute share prediction on any players, so that's why I'm out.
I'll tell you right now, at 15.5, I'll bet the Nuggets right now.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at what I said, I mean, they've been cleaning up bad teams. They beat Orlando by 22. They beat Philly by 35. They beat Brooklyn by 19, Atlanta by 19, Detroit by 13, where Detroit's been competitive. This is where Denver just plays ball. And 1 point on the total here. These teams did play recently in Charlotte. Super under in that one, 107-104. This whole Denver at home thing is very much predicated on scoring the ball at an alarming rate. I think you could definitely go for an over in this game. I think Denver's just going to just juice it up, and fatigue spot for Charlotte backups they're going to run. And I think it correlates to what Luke said about Nick Smith Jr., young player here, very much heat check left or right. He's either on or he's not. I think he could be on tonight. I like that. I think it's a pretty decent spot. And our guy in the chat says, Mortal Lock, money line Nuggets. We got to hire this guy. I mean, that is like
sharp.
We got who is it?
Wait. Let me check my calculator. I want to see if that's a positive EV bet.
Nuggets money line. If you want to foreign trip, it is. If you want to take a foreign trip, bet the money line tonight, and you cover it. I guarantee you cover it, but you got to lay 17-1. That's the type of bet you see the books advertising. Like you see it on X and Instagram. Like this guy just bet 2.7 million to win a couple $100,000. But more power to you, keeping it moving here. Big time stuff. 9:30 TNT National Suns Spurs. This is a game that I will say got absolutely disrupted this afternoon and last night. Wemby reported illness. I thought load management. I was not right about that. He has a season-ending blood clot in his shoulder. And I was saying before, I was surprised. And J.A. told me, I knew it was coming. I saw it last year. I had a futures play on Wemby's shoulder injury. But
First off, that's not what I said. I said these guys are so freakishly big that you know what that this shit can happen. And when something like this does happen, it could be fucking severe. I didn't know it was coming, but I didn't care if he was out or not was my better take. And what I was saying to you is it's not a surprise. If you look at Yao Ming, he spent more of his time on the fucking bench or in the doctor's office than he spent on the court. If you looked at Shaq towards the ending stages of his career, he had a nonstop foot injury, right? So it happens to all the greats. I mean, it has to do something with somebody who's just so freakishly fucking large. Listen, that doesn't make sense. Wemby's not human. I don't care what anybody says. You look at the size of that dude and how he's built. The dude is just not human, man. It doesn't make any sense. So it doesn't surprise me. And obviously, you know what? Thoughts and prayers go out to Wemby. Bosch suffered the same kind of thing, you know what? And we lost, pretty much lost Bosch, you know, for right after we fucking signed him. You know, so these things with some of these bigger guys, it's a little bit more regular.
Yeah, no, without question. Luke, any thoughts?
I mean, if JA is predicting deep vein thrombosis diagnoses, what can what can he not do?
I mean, look, he told me he got it last summer at the futures market. He got like plus 2 million odds on this. I mean, this is why you guys sign up for VIP, the medical report shit, you know?
All right, listen, bottom line here, wrong team is fucking favored. Take the San Antonio Spurs plus the points. I like this with Wemby. I like it even more actually without him. Look, books have bumped their fucking noggin. The worst ATS team in the league, laying 2 points on the fucking road. Get the fuck out of here. San Antonio now returns home. Revenge on their fucking minds. Phoenix lost 6 of 7 prior to the break. They were 2-5 against the spread. They made no movement at the deadline, right? And this is now the debut of Fox. Fox at home in a Spurs jersey for the very first time. I think he goes ballistic, and I get it. No Wemby. Out for the season. It sucks. We're sorry. But superstar subtraction is a real fucking thing. And I think the troops are going to rally around Fox tonight. And remember this. This is an incredibly deep San Antonio Spurs roster. Give me the Spurs plus the 2. I'm getting a free basket against one of the worst ATS teams I've ever seen in the NBA. Fucking book it. Give it to me. Bet it. Cash it. Let's go.
Yeah, you know, Luke, you got any props on this one?
I am in super alignment with this. I am all over the Spurs. I've actually already bet the Spurs with you guys. If you know, plus 2.5, that's what I got it at. I'm all over that. I do have an official free play in this game, and the line's actually adjusted, probably not in the sharp favor, but I don't care. Kevin Durant over 6.5 rebounds.
Oh, hey, Luke, before you get to your handicap, I'm going to say this to everybody in the chat and everybody watching this live right now. If you're going to play this, it would be best to do so immediately because you also have Booker and you have Grayson Allen on the report, both true game time decisions. So if you get one or both of them out, this line once again is going to flip, so you're going to get the worst of the number. The time to play it, if you're going to tail us, would be to play it right now. Yes, and H-Town legend, I absolutely could not talk you off a little San Antonio money line. You probably gets a little bit of a plus figure, but you could take the plus 2. Regardless, what you don't want to do is you don't want to sit on it and wait for the line to flip. All right, Luke, KD, what?
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, I'm all over the Spurs players too for props. Saving some of that for my VIP clients. But my free play is Kevin Durant over 6.5 boards. You could get it at like plus 140 now. So super good value. And it's just line functionality here. Durant has not posted 7+ rebounds in his last 8 games. So why should he tonight? You know, no Wemby on the glass. There should be a lot of rebounding opportunity. And I don't think the Suns or Spurs will maybe be the most efficient in their shot attempts. So I think there's going to be a ton of misses here. My analytics have him projected for 7.6 rebounds. So, like, I mean, that's a huge advantage. The line's now 5.5 on some books. So take the over here. And last but not least, the most important point on this cap is the Spurs are literally the worst team in the NBA. You got to look at these stats for me, like a nerd like me. Worst team in the NBA at opponent small forward rebounding. They give up 8.7 per game. Give me Durant over 6.5 boards or over 5.5 if you want to take the juice.
Yeah, and I have a VIP play on this. Bernsey, you want to play the promo, please? And I will say one thing about the Wemby issue here. As Jay mentioned, this is not load management. This is the rest of the year. And for me, this takes on a bit of a fallen soldier environment psychologically, where if you talk about an Army platoon out there, they lose their top guy, they rally and they give everything they have. Eventually, they fade away. But the initial jolt is literally like the highest level of energy. So I think it's a really interesting psychological point. We'll see what happens tonight. We appreciate you guys signing up with VIP. Numerous plays as we go into March. The best of times. Final game on the card tonight, 10 o'clock. Lakers traveling to Portland. Interesting game here. As I said, one of two teams on a back-to-back tonight. Lakers played one of the worst games I've seen in a long time last night. It was every angle of bad. It was psychological. It was on-court flow. It was shot selection. It was overall energy. It was a disaster. However, Luka's not playing tonight. So all of a sudden, do they get better in the small window? Jay, what do we think about this?
It might be time to just understand that the Lakers are just not going to be a good team, right? Like that this addition really doesn't work, especially on the defensive end of the court, because I mean, every bit when they needed to stop that run in the second half last night, they couldn't get stops. Like they really just couldn't get stops. And it was one man just fucking controlling the entire game. And that wasn't LeBron James and that wasn't Luka Doncic. It was fucking LaMelo Ball. So, you might have to start to accept it out there in LA. This just isn't going to work. Austin Reeves and Luka, as Luke and I and Shark were talking about earlier, they're pretty much the same fucking player, except Austin Reeves does play a little bit of defense. And he's in much better shape. So I just don't think this is going to work. This little, it was cute, it was fun. It's always nice to get the big name, but the big name has to play on both ends of the court. For tonight, you have James, a true game time decision. So now LeBron is going to be on the report every night. They replaced that with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was on the report every night, but now it's going to be James. Luka's out, Vanderbilt out. On the other side, Portland, a little bit healthier, but you do have Scoot Henderson, which I'd like to see what happens there. Robert Williams, game time decision. That normally wouldn't matter for me, except for the fact that Ayton is out in this game. And Thibel's also out. So you're losing quite a bit of defense in Portland. Portland, prior to the All-Star break, what was like everybody's darling, going into the break, right? Everybody just scooping up those plus tickets with them. I don't think you're going to get the same Blazers coming out of the break. I think the Blazers are pretty much going to get run over in the West now as the better teams start to establish themselves and play defense. But the Lakers aren't one of those teams. If I had to play anything here, I would probably look to get to Portland, but I don't know if I could do that, especially with this injury report. This is really an ugly report, especially coming out of the breaks. I didn't think it would be this bad. I thought most of those games and most of the injury report manipulation was going to be over with. But you know what? Same NBA. When you think about it, the fucking NBA ratings on the All-Star game were beaten by the NHL. Like, listen, and this is no hate towards my Canadian friends and our hockey lovers. Burns, he's definitely one of them. Big fucking hockey guy. I'm not, as you guys know, but you've sunk into new lows where you're being beaten in your ratings by the NHL. A league that just a handful of years ago was about to fucking fold, and now you're losing viewership to it. The NBA is in real fucking trouble, and this is part of it. This injury report manipulation. And at some point, somebody has to fucking do something about it, but it's certainly not tonight, and it's certainly not this game. Luke, do you have anything in this fucking game? Because this is ugly.
It's so bad. I, of course, was wrong on Austin Reeves last night. He's probably going to ball out tonight. I never chase, though, so I'm not advising a Reeves play, although he loves to bounce back in a spot after we get him wrong. So admit when I'm wrong. Reeves probably goes off tonight. If I had to go anywhere, I'm actually looking to fill in Ayton's stat line here with Donovan Clingan for the Blazers. I like his point total or PRA line. He's a really solid big. Lakers have no bigs, so I'd side with that for a lean in this play. But my VIP play in this is for clients only. Burnsy, hit that promo. I love doing what I do for you guys for free. It's my motivation to build a community and grow Why Lose with JA and Shark and the team. But the best plays and the best research is in the VIP. So feel free to jump on board. Appreciate you.
Yeah, in this game, it's just going to be tough. And one comment on the Reeves thing, I didn't look at it yet because I was waiting for the injury report. If you buy back on him tonight, I don't entirely think you're chasing. I think it's actually just a good look, like in the standalone environment tonight. Just my 2 cents on that. But this is going to be a tough game. As Jay has said, Portland was way too hot before the break. They went into the break 12-2 ATS last 14. They did show the signs of cratering, losing their final 3 games going into the break. Minnesota, 2 at Denver. But the Lakers without their players tonight, just a tough read. Beautiful show here. We're NBA player performance on a Thursday. 9 games, 9 tomorrow. We will be back with all the fire. Luke's got a bunch of plays. I have one official on here, multiple officials in VIP. Bernsey, you want to play us a nice hip-hop track and the best bets?
All right, Luke, give us your best bet. We're going to make Luke's best bet tonight, ride or die. We'll actually flip back and forth every day. So Luke will be ride or die tonight. Luke, what is your best bet for the show?
I got to go with my ladder challenge. It's where I have the most hype, and I'm hyped about it. Brook Lopez under 12.5 points. I think it's moved to 11.5. Still give me the under.
And Shark?
Yeah, my top play, Indiana plus 2.5. We talked about it before. Let's dominate.
All right, I'm obviously going to go with the C's. I'll take the Boston Celtics laying the 7. I do also co-sign the move with the Pacers. Luka on that prop shit, of course, can never complain there. I do tail some of his props. I'm not going to lie. Not all of them, but I'm not going to lie. All right, let's get to a little Q&A. Guys, this is for those who've been sitting there watching in the background. Now you want to step up. You have questions. We have answers. A couple questions. We'll answer some of your questions now.
Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
Practice? We're talking about practice, man. All right, so get them in now. You guys have questions. Let's get to it right now. Let's go. Start it off. You start a couple. Let me answer a couple. Boston team total over. Can't argue that. Houston, always a good look, especially in a spot like this. Lean under 223. Orlando, Atlanta. Yeah, I actually did say that. But it's again, is this the night that Orlando finds an offense? Hawks +1 into a 7-point. Get the fuck out of here with teasers in the NBA. H-Town legend. Spurs money line. Nuggets laying 15.5. If you 3-leg parlay, good luck. I'm not. Listen, you guys know I don't really fuck with parlays. It's just not who I am. Cat over 40 points for 3rd straight meeting. Luke?
You could ladder this. The Knicks game is not a bad game to ladder if you guys do that. I'm not one that usually does it, but what ladder means is, you can take their over points, whatever his line is at, 20-something. You could ladder it and bet all the way up to like 40. Because in this game, the Knicks, Brunson or Towns could both go for 40+. So I don't mind that. I actually don't mind going with a ladder here.
Shark, sign Papa 16. Say that quick 3 times. He wants to know what type of hair conditioner you use.
I think it's Cine Papa. He wants to go to the Hollywood set with the hair here. It's a beautiful Thursday. If you want details, send me a DM. I'll tell you what the product is.
Ralph says, who do you see making a run for the second half? Luka under PRAs going forward. At Luke, you said Paul George under the rest of the season. PRA question mark points question mark. So I think he's asking you what is it you're looking towards Paul George tonight? You said his under, but his under what?
Yeah, so I'm liking his under points here. Just because his shot attempts have been so down, I would specifically say points. I don't have any real tell on his rebound or assist total tonight. And then if you're looking at Luka under A's PRA, I would fade Luka until you see him actually integrate into this offense effectively. But that's not my official play because he's out. Paul George under points is a play I like.
Celtics first half Spears or money line, obviously spread or money line. Dude, I would never play a fucking money line on a 4.5 point spread. I got to imagine the first half is probably going to be about 4.5. So no, I don't mind that. Anything under 5 would be playable there. Did you already announce the Super? Yes, we already announced the Super Bowl winners. We sent them notifications, and most of them have already received their gift cards. I'll post it tomorrow here. I'll do that. Knicks team total. Bulls have more holes than Swiss cheese. Facts. I don't think any of us really need to answer that. Kobe White points over. Luke.
Yeah, that one. In this game, Bulls Knicks, if anything, you lean over. I don't love his points here just because the line looked sharp when I looked at it. He was projected for 20, so that's right at the line. I don't have a tell there, but I would never hate you for taking over in that game.
Andy Robles, I don't even have to answer that. You already know. Second half of the NBA season, I just absolutely fucking own. I dominate. It's going to be a fucking flat-out ATM. This is the time of year where things get hot. I think last year after the All-Star break, we went on like a 9-week run where we just collected every single fucking week. So that's about to start happening here again. And yeah, books should be afraid. Second half of the NBA season, about the cash. That's right, guys. Any other questions before we move on?
I think we gotta
get him in.
We gotta get Shark an affiliated, hair product here. He could get a promo for his hair product. I'm just saying, new segment, maybe.
We got to get some hair sponsorships here. I mean, come on, people want to live. Let's let them live.
Derek White over 13.5. All Celtics over tonight. God damn it.
I don't hate it. The only reason I would actually hesitate, just this is off the top of my head, is the average is more than that on the season. So the line functionality actually shows that the under's likely the value play. So I haven't looked at that one in depth, but I would actually say the line shows under as the play there.
All right, so King Drew, I just want to say one thing right now, right? Just so you fully understand, and put that fucking comment up there, just so you understand. There's a reason why I was named the NBA King, right? And I didn't give the name myself, right? I didn't give it to myself. It's not self-proclaimed. Actually, all the good shit that's said about me, I've never said about myself. I let you guys speak for me. You tell me come the middle of the second half if I'm not the fucking NBA when you're retracting that statement. I am the absolute fucking NBA king. I'm the NBA GOAT, and the second half of the NBA season is about to be my bitch. And Shark is a very close second. Chuck, I gotta give you love, but yeah.
I'm with it. I listen, I'm with it. And truthfully, I said it yesterday when I was on here talking about the Lakers. It's just you have to zoom out. I mean, a lot of these people are judging things on a week or a month. This is a year, 2, 5. Please bet responsibly with us. We will show you amazing results over a lifetime of continuous work.
Yeah, last year, just so you guys know, 64% in the NBA and was close to 70% on my bigger plays. So I don't think you hit those numbers because you're not good. And yes, it was an epic NFL season. I understand that. Yes, we absolutely fucking crushed the NFL this year. Fucking goofy money every week. We had like 3 losing weeks the entire NFL season. But the NBA last year was pretty much as good. And the second half of the NBA season was pretty much like the NFL season. And the second half of the NBA season this year will be that because now it starts playing true to form. I don't throw shade. I don't fucking hide. The first half of the NBA season, I've said all along, I haven't been at my best. I haven't been doing good. We had, some nice runs in there. But for the most part, you know what? It was a down first half of the season. It's not abnormal for that to happen. Kevin B., no, I am not on the Hawks officially. I don't bet the Atlanta Hawks. I don't bet with or against the Hawks. It's just not something I do. Shark does like the Magic in that game. He thinks that game is a magic spot. He has said that. You should probably watch the whole show when we're done here. Lots of good fucking nuggets dropped. Darius Garland, over 5.5 assists. Does Garland pass the rock? Is he there, like, really the assist guy? I thought he was just kind of, squeak in, find a little open shot, and bang a 3. But what do you think, Luke?
I was going to say, I actually don't love that play simply because he likes to score the ball. He's just in the 3-point contest. He's probably feeling his shot a little bit. And the Nets play good defense, so could make us just harder to come by tonight.
All right, Dyson Daniels, 3+ steals. Wait, STLS?
Yeah, that one, I'll admit, I don't really fuck with the steals market. It's such a random niche
Wait,
thing.
but would a Dyson Daniels, was the steals prop be set at 3+?
Well, yeah, so want to know what's nuts about that? I'd have to fact check myself. I think he leads the NBA with by a long margin on steals. I think he averages 3 a game. No one else has more than 1 point something. I could be wrong on that, but I thought I saw a news flash on how crazy his steals numbers have been. So something to maybe look at.
Shark, U.S. or Canada?
I'm from the U.S. I don't care about it.
USA.
Although I will say this. I was watching a clip that's gone kind of viral on ESPN of PK Subban. I think he played defense for the Canadians for a period of time. Believe it or not, I do know some hockey here. And he was basically saying that the NBA right now is struggling because the guys don't play as if they're going all in every game. And I think that's just a real interesting point. If you guys haven't seen this quote from PK Subban, check it out. It's just what we're talking about with LaMelo Ball. Please step on the court. Luke made a comment before about it. Fans of the sport and bettors of the sport, we just want one thing. We want you guys to care like we all care. Put in the work, love the sport, show respect. That's it.
That's with facts. That's all we're asking. We want these guys to care as much as we care, right? We want them to go out and play these games as if, as if I just bet their money on the game. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? It's not going to happen. You know what? Millionaires will still be millionaires, and young men being paid millions to play a game are always going to act like young men being paid millions to play a game. It's just the way it is. All right, guys. 3-0 NBA guarantee for me tonight. 3-0 backing. 3 plays. Actually, it's going to be 6, and I'm going to play all 3 straight and 3 2-team parlays.
The lights, the bright lights, the tight, the crowd lights. Where you at, ballers?
That's right. I'm packing up my suitcase. You saw that there at the end. All right. Get to ylose.com. That's the letter YLOSE.com. Free pick, stats, trends, scores, odds, and more. That's ylose.com. The letter YLOSE.com. You also find more from these guys as well as Coach Rick. I was going to say Luke Shuey, but that would be Luke Shuey. Luke, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, simple. Guys, let's have a beast of a night. Let's start off the second half big and tell a friend to tell a friend. Maybe we too can be friends. We do this every day, but Saturdays and Sundays. Like and subscribe. Let's go.
Sharky.
Thursday's theme is money. We appreciate you guys. Sign up in the VIP link. It's all respect and love. NBA is trying to bring it. We always bring it. Let's dominate.
He's Luke Shuey. He's Graham Sheasby, the Shark. I, of course, am J.A. Cavalier. This has been Player Performance. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow as we break down the entire NBA card, giving you guys all the information needed to beat the books. But until then, remember, yesterday's a memory. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. You're here now. Make it count.
USA! USA! USA!